Like
there was a bit in my career that popped, but I was already in theaters. But like, I think has given me a lot more longevity than the guns.
Yeah. The gun, yeah, that's brilliant.
Yeah, the guns thing was look, it's really sad because every time there was a shooting or something, my career would get a little kick, you know, like because people would start posting this video all the time. And even now when there's a shooting, people go to me, they go, Jim, say something. Say something. And I'm like, what do you want me to fucking say? The guns, I still think guns are bad, and I'm still not a big, component of everyone should have a gun, but that's my opinion. I understand it's in the law of America. I understand the Second Amendment. I'm not a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
And so, unless the laws are changed, I'm not going to change people's minds, not with a little stand-up routine. I think what stand-up routines can do is it makes, especially a routine like that that's like 15 minutes long, when there is an argument at a party, it gives some light arguments for people to say. You know what I mean? If they watch the thing, they'll go, what about this? Because it's all in jokes, It's not real statistics and this and that. It's just like a lot of it's all hunch work where you go, what common sense.
That bit, how long, because, what I love about your style is it just seems like you're talking. You're just giving facts. You're making jokes. It seems seamless. It's very much getting to know your personality.
Right.
It's very much you. But when you're working that out and it winds up 15 minutes, is that something like you had beats, or were you just kind of like, all right, that one worked, that one worked?
Well, I was already doing Legit at that stage, which was my sitcom on FX that no one saw, but I'm very fond of. We were doing Legit, and John Ratzenberg was on the show, who played Cliff Clavin from Cheers. And John's a Republican. I don't think I'm speaking out of term saying anything about John here that John wouldn't say himself. And John believes in guns and all that type of stuff, and he thinks I'm a lunatic, and I think his opinions are lunatic. And we're both friends. We both get along just great to this day, me and John. I was seated next to John when Sandy Hook happened, and so I was like, we were all just shocked, terrible kids, and we were all just, I was just become a father myself, and we were sitting there, and people were crying, and and he turns to me and goes, "Hey, Jimmy, none of this would have happened if those teachers had guns." And I just went, okay. And a lot of people believe that's a real argument, and that is a valid argument, but we haven't put it into tested it, and I don't agree with that. And so me and John maybe argued for 2 or 3 days.
If both sides have guns, you have a gunfight.
Yeah,
I mean,
no, I agree.
But if there was no,
and there's a few unstable teachers out there. Don't you fucking worry about that.
Tell me about it.
There's a teacher who would have shot me fucking point blank. Well, there was one that this teacher would have killed me. And so it was maybe 2 days of arguing, and the set was written. It was written because
just off the arguments.
Yeah, because every counter argument I had was like a funny, and then sometimes I tried to rile him up with little tiny arguments, and you know what I mean. By the time we were all done, I had this routine, and I did it. And I remember the first time I sort of said on stage, I said, "All right, I'm going to talk about something guns," and then just people just like the whole room went. Because not a lot of comics had done. George Carlin had a thing, and I think Bill Burr did a thing, and I don't know. I don't watch.
Chris Rock did a thing with
guns. He did the bullets thing, that type of stuff.
Thing.
But like, I don't think a foreigner had done one, and you know what I mean. So there was a lot of tension when I first started doing it. I remember like a real hillbilly guy coming to see me before the special had come out, and I was like in full flight of doing that routine every day. And he's like, "Oh, Jim, man, I just love you. Oh, I'm so excited." And he wanted to see me do all my cock jokes. And I can do that whenever you want, you know what I mean? And what happened was, and he took a photo with me before the show. And I remember thinking, this guy's not going to like this show. He's not going to like it, And then like I checked social media afterwards, and then he's like, there's the photo of me. "This person's a piece of shit." And I was like, I felt so bad disappointing that guy because I know how excited he was. And he'd traveled to Vegas to see the show. And from whatever town he was from, you know what I mean? And he was there with his wife, and he was just elated to be there. And then I fucking ruined his day.
For that one bit. Regardless of the rest of the show, it's just amazing to me how people's hold. Look, I believe that you should have a right to have a gun too and all that stuff. But it's amazing how people will get so upset you know, about you mentioning.
Well, I
facts
don't get upset about their right to have
Me
a gun.
neither.
I don't get. I
get
don't
upset.
even try to really particularly stop them from having guns.
No.
I just think it's silly, and I think we don't need semi-automatic things, and there should be background checks and all that type of stuff, and I think most sensible people think that as well, but not everyone does, you know.
Yeah, it's like if you want to have a gun, have a gun. I'm not going to get mad at you, but if you say the opposite,
Yeah,
they get mad.
they get mad. Yeah,
If you make points, and
I don't think you should have a gun.
Yeah.
but I'm not stopping you.
Yeah,